Auburn Blitz is now on the air. Your daily look into what's happening in Auburn athletics. With your host, Andy Graham, Brett Pritchard, Randy Lee, War Eagle.
Hello again, everyone, and good Wednesday afternoon. Welcome into this, the latest edition of the Auburn Blitz. I am Andy Graham alongside Jeremy Jeffco. We'll be with you for the next hour, taking your comments, taking your phone calls, talking about everything going on in the world of Auburn athletics. Auburn coming off a big win over UMass, 59-14, first game of the 2023 season. Looking forward to taking on the Cal Bears out in Berkeley, California on Saturday night, this upcoming Saturday. So certainly there's a lot to talk about there, what happened, and previewing what will take place.
Sleep in Saturday morning.
Yeah, really. Yeah. Going to be a long day for Auburn and Auburn fans for sure. More so for Auburn fans, I would think, because at least out there in California, it'll be, I guess, 7:30 when they actually play the game. But for us, it'll be 9:30, so yeah, it's going to be a late night, but nonetheless, got that first win under the belt for Hugh Freeze and his tenure at Auburn as head coach, and we'll talk about that, break down that. Obviously, it's a little bit kind of a day late because of Labor Day. Normally, we would have done this on Monday, but Brett and Randy got their thoughts in yesterday. JJ and I'll talk about this today. Talk about some of the things that we saw, and we'll kind of bounce around and talk about some games or in and around the SEC that happened as well. We'll fit in a Braves segment as we can. Braves still, I keep saying it, still got the best record in baseball.
And you know, unfortunately, we see Mike Soroka back on the injured list after
that
last
story
night.
Just you just wonder if that's going to have a happy ending, at this point. But and this is not, you know, this is numbness in the fingers.
Yep.
This is not, you know, have anything to do with the Achilles.
No, but it can be a warning sign of something, you know.
That's true for sure. So, yeah, we'll talk about that. If you got any thoughts on any of these things, give us a call, 256-234-6221, or you can dial us up on the Sports Blitz Facebook page, our YouTube page, comment away. You can find us on obviously WOTM on your Spectrum cable dial. For all of you that still have Spectrum, that are not so fed up with them that you have cut that cord. But WOTM on your Spectrum cable dial. You can find us on Roku and Fire TV and Apple TV as well. So just find your WOTM or WAXC TV app from the App Store and download that. And we're all, you know, you can find us anywhere.
That's right.
Absolutely. So, JJ, it was an interesting week. You said you had a chance to watch Auburn play?
I did.
Just your initial impressions.
And I told you before we came on the air, I got what I expected, right? I thought obviously this was a much more organized and well-coached team with a plan. And that's a start because they haven't had a plan for about 2 years.
It's true.
You know, and so this was a team with a plan, and that's a sign of coaching, right? So it's a team that's been coached and was ready to play and had a plan. I thought obviously the offensive line is going to be better than it's been the last couple of years. How much better, we don't know yet because you can't gauge too much off of UMass. But I think it's a stronger, more athletic offensive line than you've seen in a couple of years, which is good. You know, I thought they just kind of did what they needed to do. I thought they had a good plan for using Robbie Ashford in the red zone. You know, Peyton Thorne is a lot of things, but he's not your design run guy in the red zone. And Robbie Ashford can give you that. So, you know, I thought it was if I'm an Auburn fan, I'm coming away from that going, okay, good. You know, we're now let's move on to Cal and, you know, get another barometer. You know?
You know, the one thing that was I came away most of all, more than anything else, was that, whenever time you get a new coach, you watch his press conferences, you listen to what he says, after practices and after games, and you kind of get used to it over a couple of that first year, and you start figuring out, well, okay, when he says this, he really means this.
Yeah.
Or you develop a lexicon about these are the words he uses when he's mad. These are the words he uses
Right.
when he's okay. The one thing I came away with, Hugh Freeze tells the truth. Mm-hmm. Okay, Gus Malzahn he basically would lie to your face.
Sure.
And
a lot of coach speak. Look, it's just it's coach speak.
No,
it doesn't make you a bad person.
Gus Malzahn would literally lie to your face. He would say this guy's not going to play, and he would play, or vice versa. But coach speak, for everybody uses coach speak, and you use these cliches and all this. Everything that Hugh Freeze said after scrimmages, after in the preseason, absolutely happened in the game.
Well, and
everything.
I'll tell you, there are things to watch for. That's one of them. That's an interesting take. There's one thing that a friend of mine taught me to look for many, many years ago, and I'm talking back. This is late '90s. Okay, in the late '90s, I had a friend that I called high school football games with, and so we traveled a lot together on Friday nights, right? And he had been on the chain gang at Legion Field for 20 years. And it was just something he enjoyed doing because he got to see a lot of great football games up close, right? And so he did it every year. And he told me that one thing he learned to watch working the chain gang was the sideline. How is the sideline organized? And he said he could tell if a guy could coach or not by how their sideline looked and how their sideline was organized. He said, for example, because he started doing it in the mid-'70s, and he said there's one thing that you always noticed when Alabama was playing there, Bryant's sideline was almost militaristic in its organization. Everybody had a place to be. They knew where it was, and by God, you were where you were supposed to be at any time.
Right.
He said when Pat Dye took the Auburn job, he could see it immediately, the sideline. Extremely organized. Everybody's where they're supposed to be, and by golly, you don't leave there. This is your. He said you could see it. He said, and then he said Bill Curry had one of the most jacked up sidelines you've ever seen in your life. It's like a Chinese fire drill, right? And then when Stallings got hired, he's like, I think Alabama's going to be better because the sideline was organized.
Right.
So I've started now. Ever since he told me that, and like I said, that's been 25 years ago or so, give or take. But I always kind of watch that, right? If it's a coach I'm not really familiar with watching, I watch their sideline. It's one of the things, like if you watch a guy like Brian Kelly, right? Whatever you think of Brian Kelly, whether he's top 5 coach, top 15 coach, whatever, he's a good college football coach. And you can watch his sideline. It's organized. Everybody knows where to go, where to be, what to do. And that was something on Auburn this week. When people came off on the sideline, there was no confusion. You go to your spot, and you go to where you're supposed to be so that the coaches know where you are and everybody can find you at any time. And I think it's a really weird thing to watch.
Right.
But especially if you're in the stands for a game, pay attention to that. Because when you see good coaches, their sideline will be extremely organized.
Right. Well, I bring this up because, I think used to you could say, Brian Hartson might say something, Gus Malzahn might say something, Gene Chizik might say something, and you would, he said that, but this position group needs to perform better. Well, he's just trying to call them out or whatever. So
Right.
We need to kind of dismiss it. I'm telling you, at least for right now, the initial indication is to me, when Hugh Freeze says something, you better listen.
So if he says we're not as good as we want to be at this position, believe it.
And again, this is what scares me. Number one, he said, leading up to the game, he said, the offensive line's better. We know it's better. We just don't know how much it's better. They perform. You could see that immediately. They just mauled UMass from the first drive to the rest, and that was using about 9 different guys and different, moving guys around. And they never really lost a lot. So, like you said, it's UMass. But you could tell they're better. He talked about Jay Fair in the preseason, how his emergence. He showed out in the game. He talked about the quarterback and the receivers not being really on the same page a lot in the scrimmage, and that concerned him. That showed up in the game. So everything that he said happened. Now, after the game, he talked about the defensive line being misaligned 15 times during the game. 15 different snaps we were not lined up properly. And a lot of those I think, were on that first drive when Auburn just got gashed down the field. Mm-hmm. They ended up giving 140 yards rushing. And you could blow that out. And, again, I talked about a couple weeks ago, excuses. Well, 76 of that rushing yards was on the first drive. Make you feel a little better. Well, they broke a couple of long runs after that against the second-team defense. Okay, if that makes you feel better. They gave up 140 yards rushing to UMass. He said we were misaligned 15 times. He said in the press conference, if we don't get that corrected, that's going to bite us big time. In other words, we're going to lose games because of this. Mm-hmm. Don't dismiss that and say, well, we'll get that corrected. You bet. I mean, that's a problem. That is a huge problem. And I'm not even sure if you'll beat Cal if you can't even line up correctly defensively. So I hope it was a very big-time teaching moment this week, and they have worked on that extremely well, because I don't know how good or bad the defense is, but if we're certainly not good enough and athletic enough to line up improperly and still make a play.
Yeah. And I would agree with you. And here's the thing that I will say regarding Cal, and I kind of pointed this out a few weeks ago. They were, 4-8 last year, I think?
Yeah.
Okay. 4 of their losses against top 25 opponents, by the way. I'm talking USC, I'm talking Oregon, I'm talking top 25 legitimate opponents, were by a touchdown, 7 points.
Yeah.
So this is not a team that's, out there getting blown out every Saturday. This is a team with some ability, and they've proven that they can hang with good teams. So don't go into the game expecting that you're going to see, this Cal team that looks a lot like UAB, right? They're not. They were fairly competitive last year for a 4-8 team, and I think they'll be probably competitive Saturday night.
You run for 357 yards, I don't care against who, and get close to 700 yards of offense. That's something to pay attention to. Yeah. And going back to, if there was any kind of weakness that Auburn showed, it might have been against the run in that front seven. So that could be, that's definitely something to watch if you're an Auburn fan for sure. Got to take our first break here, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more of the Auburn Blitz on this Wednesday, right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Weiss with Weiss Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Weiss Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Weiss Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Weiss Motors.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
When you need an automotive hero, you got to call S&S Discount Tire Pros. With locations in Alexander City and Dayville, we are here to serve you today. From quick services like oil changes and tire rotations to in-depth automotive repairs such as suspensions, brakes, and tune-ups, S&S can take care of all your tire needs. You just have to focus on what's important and love the drive. Call S&S Discount Tire Pros today. We are automotive heroes, and we are here to serve you.
WOTM is the television provider for all Alabama High School Athletic Association championship events and special programs. WOTM is your home for the Super 7 football, state finals basketball, baseball and softball state championships, the AHSAA Weekly Show, and WOTM also produced the first ever football playoff show, Super 7 preview show, and reclassification reveal show. Your exclusive home for all things AHSAA is WOTM. Contact your local cable provider to request WOTM to your channel lineup.
Whether it's Lake Martin, Lay Lake, or Logan Martin, boaters from all over the state of Alabama come to Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama, because it's worth the drive. With the best deals on unbeatable Suzuki outboards, Manitou and Landau Tritoons, and a great pre-owned inventory while they last. Alex City Marine is the pros the locals know. And no matter where you're from, when you're here, you're local to us. Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama. AlexCityMarine.com.
Russell Do-It Center and building supply stores have the tools and materials to get the job done right, whether you're a professional contractor or just a weekend do-it-yourselfer. With everyday customer conveniences like a drive-through lumberyard, price match promise, and our best rewards program, each of our 9 locations offer top brands and building materials like lumber, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. Visit today and see what Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply can help you build tomorrow.
Let's get serious. Let's get Arctic Air serious. You want your car and truck to live longer, don't you? Well, it's about maintenance. Same thing with Arctic Air. You see the number at the bottom of the screen? Call them right now. Let me tell you something. You want to be comfortable? We all want to be comfortable.
Truckloads of fresh inventory are rolling into Glenn Smith Chevrolet in Opelika. Check out the powerful new Chevrolet Silverado 4-wheel drive crew cab, discounted up to $11,250 off. Chevy Equinox with 0 down as low as $329 per month. Chevy Malibu 0 down as low as $369 per month.
Get your best price every day at Glenn Smith in Opelika, on the lot or online at glennsmith.com. Get ready to smile.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and JJ here with you. About 45 more minutes left in today's show. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us. We are brought to you each and every day by J.A. Smith Construction and Excavation. No job is too big. No job is too small. Commercial or residential, give them a call today for all of your needs, whatever they might be on the construction side or excavation, whether you're, on a pond, slough dredging, concrete, whatever your needs might be. 334-531-0199. Central Alabama Community College, great place to get a great education right here in Central Alabama. Get a 2-year technical degree or get your undergrad kind of stuff taken care of, and before you head off to a 4-year school. They got campuses in Alexander City, Talladega, Childersburg, and Prattville. Also, Russell Do-It Center for all of your needs, home building supply, home decor, tools. They got a little bit of everything there at Russell Do-It Center. Go and check them out. Give them a try. They can beat the big box store. You'll be glad that you did. JJ, let's go to the phone line.
All right.
Hey, caller, you're on the Auburn Blitz.
Hello, Andy and JJ. How you guys doing today?
Great, Jerry. How about you?
Yeah, I'm doing real good. Thank you for taking my call. You mentioned something about Hugh Freeze kind of leveling with you and tell you the truth. And I realized, I noticed that Saturday before the game, talking on the radio, he said that Peyton Thorne needed to get his completion percentage up. He wasn't ranting and raving, throwing anybody under the bus. He was just being honest. And then at halftime, he said that, we gave up too many chunk plays on defense, and he wasn't happy with that. But honesty is going to always be good policy, and I think kids and everybody around you will respond to you if they know you're at least leveling with them and being honest with them. And I had mentioned on this show 6 or 8 weeks ago that I thought the Cal game was going to be tougher than a lot of people thought, and I still stick by that. I think it'll be a tough game for Auburn to get through with, and I still think we win, but I think it's going to be a tough game, to be honest with you, a hard-fought, close game. Having said that, this deal with Charter and ESPN and all that kind of business, is there any end in sight to that? Because it's aggravating the splitter. I'll be honest with y'all. It's just aggravating as it can be. And thank y'all for taking my call, guys, and I'll just hang up and listen to your response. Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry. Appreciate it.
There is no end in sight. There will be an end. I mean, they will eventually have to come to some sort of agreement. But
you would think.
Here's what it boils down to. Cable companies pay networks a per household fee for their programming, right? So if you're Charter Spectrum, and I don't know, we'll just make up a number. Let's say you have 2 million households that you service, right? Then ESPN's fee is $2. Well, then you can figure out that that's $4 million you're paying Disney to carry their family of networks, right? And that fee can be per month, per year, whatever. However you break it down. What Charter Spectrum is saying is that, look, we've made a fair offer. It includes an increase from what it was before, but what Disney wants for us to carry these is so high that we would have to pass that on to the consumer at such a rate that, it's just not worth it. So
we'd be losing customers anyway.
And what Disney's saying,
what they're saying.
And what Disney's saying is, look, we're ESPN's an expensive property, and we're going to charge for it. So.
Well, and ESPN's losing money.
Right.
Number one, Disney Plus is losing money, and we got to make that up somehow. So we're going to pass that along to you, Charter.
We fired David
Spectrum.
Pollock, but it wasn't enough.
That's So now you can pass it on to the consumer, and the Spectrum is while Spectrum has been gouging people for years, now they're standing up and saying, we're looking out for you, consumer. My understanding was that Spectrum made an offer that they were willing to pay a little bit higher to Disney, but they wanted to kind of include, I think, the streaming services, that people that, got that, they would be able to have access to that too. And Disney went, nah, we wanted you to pay for that extra too. And that was the holdup. So I don't know. Like you said, compromise will come at some point.
There will be an end. We just don't know, who's going to come out on the better end of that. One thing I can tell you, it won't be us.
No, that's for sure.
Yeah.
What did you end up doing? I know that you had a dilemma.
YouTube TV, baby.
Yeah.
Didn't have a choice.
That may be the way that. Until YouTube TV's contract comes up with this.
Yeah, exactly. And that's, to me, it's the easiest thing in the world. Pass me the fee. Let me choose what channels I want. Because literally there's about 20 to 25 channels that I care about. Mm-hmm. And if they cost $2, $3, $4 a piece, let me choose them and pick the ones I want.
Yeah.
Some might be $0.25, some might be $1.50. I don't know,
That may be where we're headed.
Yeah, that should be where we're headed. So.
All right. Well, thank you for the phone call, Jerry. We got to take a break. We'll be back with more of the Auburn Blitz right after this.
L&G Ad Agency is the go-to vendor for all your digital and print marketing needs. We have in-house production for all projects, including graphic design, web design, social media marketing, videography, and print marketing. Our video production is up to industry standard with modern 4K cameras and drone capabilities. We pride ourselves in client-committed relationships, and every project is personalized to your needs. Visit lmgadagency.com for a free quote today. Let us tell your story.
Lake Martin Garage, located on Highway 280 in Jackson's Gap, has been serving our area since 1993. From routine maintenance such as oil changes, tune-ups, and rotating and balancing your tires, to transmission and engine repair, our trained and certified mechanics will get you back on the road better than before. Need a tow? With a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week towing service, Lake Martin Garage has local and long-range pickup. Trust your vehicle needs to the professionals at Lake Martin Garage. Call 256-825-6139, or better yet, stop in and see them today. Lake Martin Garage.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill in Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life.
Passion, the obsession that burns within. Determination, the burning desire to make it. Drive, the motivation to be the absolute best. Skills, the tools to perform at the highest level. Excellence, the feeling of achievement. At Central Alabama Community College, you can release your passion, show your determination, display your drive, and showcase your skills to achieve excellence. Central Alabama Community College, central to you, central to your success.
Frontline Outfitters provides all your aftermarket parts for your cars, trucks, and as well as your professional tinting solutions for auto, residential, and commercial buildings. Frontline Outfitters also handles vinyl wraps, spray-in bed liners, truck accessories, LED lighting, paint correction and detailing, and much more. Make sure Frontline Outfitters of Alexander City is your first call for tinting and aftermarket solutions. Call us today, 256-409-8100.
Lee Apparel is your go-to vendor for screen-printed and embroidered apparel and promotional products. We print and embroider free custom-made graphics or outsourced designs on everything from t-shirts, headwear, corporate wear, team sportswear, high-end safety apparel, and promotional products. At Lee Apparel, you can always expect quick turnaround time, competitive pricing, friendly customer service, and free in-hands delivery on all orders. Visit us at leeapparel.com to get started.
Lake Martin Mobile Detailing is the #1 auto and boat detailing company in Central Alabama. Don't trust your boat or vehicle to just anybody. Hire the professionals. Top-of-the-line ceramic coating, detailing, gel coat restoration, and paint correction gives you the options to take care of your vehicle the right way. Located at 702 McCarty Road in Dayville, Lake Martin Mobile Detailing will have you riding in style. Call them today at 256-794-2328 for superior automotive and boat detailing.
J.A. Smith Construction is your trusted choice for construction site clearing and grading for new home construction, underground utilities and site work, concrete paving, storm drain installation, fish ponds, and slough dredging. No job is too big or too small. Call Alexander at J.A. Smith Construction at 256-896-1400 or email asmith@jasmithconstruct.com. J.A. Smith Construction, your trusted choice for construction.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and JJ here with you. About 30 more minutes left in today's show. Thank you again so much for all of you out there being with us. Check us out, television, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you can find us, and we would appreciate all of your feedback. Give us a comment or give us a call, 256-234-6221. How did you feel about Auburn's performance versus UMass, and what do you think about their upcoming battle with California? Some of the things that I was talking about, like, Hugh Freeze saying, and this is a good sign, a very good sign about where your expectations are. You win 59-14, and Hugh Freeze said in the press conference, our coaches meeting yesterday, truthfully, wasn't very pleasant because of all the mistakes you point out and say this is what we have to work on, and the acknowledgement of, yeah, we got away with these things against a lesser opponent. we're not going to get away with these things.
But keep in
as we
mind,
move
too, something
forward.
like misalignment, that's a coaching problem, right?
That's true.
So it should be addressed in the coaching room.
And you would think, and to me, that's when he said we were misaligned 15 times, I was glad to hear that. Now, that can go both ways, obviously. You think, well, we should have done a much better job of coaching, having the guys in a better, position, got it quicker, more knowledgeable, all that. That stuff's correctable. If we were getting run over, that'd be a different story. Going back and watching the game on television, we were getting penetration almost every play. We were just out of place. We didn't – the linebacker, went left when he should have gone right. He didn't fill a gap when, on this play and, got a little bit, outside when he should have stayed inside on the other play. Those kind of things are probably, fairly easily corrected. And that makes me feel a little bit better about the defense moving forward. But, again, it was UMass. So you take it all with a grain of salt, I suppose.
Well, let me put it this way. If you get manhandled by UMass,
you got problems.
It's going to be a long season.
It's going to be, big-time problems. The other thing about the offensive line was Auburn came out. I don't know if I can ever remember an Auburn team using this many different combinations and really in the first half of the first game and really not ever missing a beat.
I'm intrigued by one of Freeze's comments where he said he's not really doesn't necessarily need just 5 starters. He's comfortable with 8 or 9. That sort of goes against kind of 100 years of football theory, right?
Yeah.
That an offensive line takes cohesiveness and snaps together in order to gel properly. So, assuming that he continues to rotate 8 or 9 on the offensive line, that'll be fascinating to watch.
Now, that's something I brought up before. That's something I've talked about that I didn't, back in the 80s when Auburn was running, the wishbone in the early 80s and then moved into the I formation with Bo Jackson in 1985, we ran basically 2 different offensive lines. We would sub 5 for 5. And we would use them. Neil Callaway was the offensive line coach, and we had about 10 guys that we trusted, and we would sub very, very generously. One team would start, and then the next offensive line would come out there and play. And the theory was, by the fourth quarter, when your offensive line has played half as many snaps as the defensive line, then you're going to own the fourth quarter. Well, people just don't do that anymore.
Well, no, but keep in mind that an offensive line is not as aerobically taxing as any defensive position, defensive line included, or probably as any other position, because really – you're only expected to cover about 6 to 7 yards, right? This whole thing about blocking downfield is great when you do it once in a while. But for the most part, you're operating in about a 15-foot space,
and
right?
illegal to move too far downfield.
Yeah, it's about strength more than it is,
agility. Yeah,
I'm looking for. So I think the idea is because on the offensive line there's a lot of complicated footwork. There's a lot of complicated, calls that have to be made at the line, whether it's cross blocks or down blocks or, whatever it is. So the idea is that repetition. If you know where you're going, the other guy doesn't, then you're better off. But
8, and he did. One of the reasons he said that was because we do want to play fast, and that was one of the things that was. You haven't seen at Auburn in the last several years. Auburn did actually go at a very quick pace at times. And he said in order to do that and to do that efficiently, we need to keep the offensive line as fresh as we possibly can. And the way you do that is to have, 9 – he said 8 or 9 guys that we feel really comfortable with. And that's just certainly, you're lucky if you can have that many guys that you do trust. So it was nice to see freshman Connor Lew get out there and play a lot of snaps at center. It was really nice to see Gunnar Britton move from left guard to right tackle to left tackle, and a guy that can play all those different kind of positions. So that should pay dividends for Auburn moving throughout the season for health-wise and to keep everybody fresh as well. So that's something definitely to keep an eye on as we move forward. But a couple other things that Hugh Freeze said, our quarterback decision-making needs to be 100%, or at least in the high 90s. He said Peyton Thorne made 3 bad decisions. There again, lining up right, have the quarterback be nearly perfect in his decision-making. Doesn't mean he makes the perfect throw, but he makes the decision, this needs to be a run play or this needs to be a pass play. The ball needs to go here because of the way the defense is lined up. Those kind of things he expects near perfection. That's a high standard.
Well, we know he's going to be that way on the quarterbacks. That's sort of his specialty, right? I mean, and I think that's fine. I mean, you sort of expect your quarterback to make very few mistakes, especially mental errors. You can handle a bad throw, right? Ball comes off a little bit early and, goes high or whatever. But it's a little different. I think it's a little different in terms of the mental part of the game, getting you in the right play or out of the wrong play.
Definitely.
Making the decision of which read, so that to me is, your quarterback better be in the 90s if you're going to be successful.
That's true. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more of the Auburn Blitz right after these messages.
.76% of nurses say they went into the profession because they wanted to help patients. No matter the reason you decided to become a nurse, you have all the tools needed to advance your degree at Jacksonville State University. Our Master's in Nursing program is now offered fully online and can be completed in less than 2 years. You can customize a flexible course schedule so you can receive your advanced education degree all while working on the front line. JSU Nursing, your opportunity to advance your career and serve your community.
At C&T Electric, our clients are our priority. For the safety and security of your family and home, our technicians are professionally trained, drug tested, background checked, and wear uniforms with name tags. We're proud to have served the Elk City, Dadeville, and Lake Martin areas for the past 10 years. Give us a call at 256-234-0007 for all your electrical service and repair needs, or visit us on the web at www.cntelectricllc.com and spell out the word "and."
WOTM is the television provider for all Alabama High School Athletic Association championship events and special programs. WOTM is your home for the Super 7 football, state finals basketball, baseball and softball state championships, the AHSAA weekly show, and WOTM also produced the first ever football playoff show, Super 7 preview show, and reclassification reveal show. Your exclusive home for all things AHSAA is WOTM. Contact your local cable provider to request WOTM to your channel lineup.
Something big is coming. Something so big, it'll change the world of chicken sandwiches. Zaxby's new signature sandwich with Zax sauce or new spicy Zax sauce, because the chicken sandwich war ain't over yet. The new signature sandwich. All the other little sandwiches can run along. We'll take it from here.
Lay your best to rest. Call the best. Lewis Pest Control.
Lewis Pest Control is now serving Alexander City and the entire Lake Martin area. They've been family owned and operated for over 60 years. Whether it's residential, commercial, or industrial, Lewis has environmentally safe products for all your pest control needs. Lewis Pest Control.
Lay your best to rest. Call the best. Lewis Pest Control.
Russell Do-It Center and building supply stores have the tools and materials to get the job done right, whether you're a professional contractor or just a weekend do-it-yourselfer. With everyday customer conveniences like a drive-through lumberyard, price match promise, and our Best Rewards program, each of our 9 locations offer top brands and building materials like lumber, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. Visit today and see what Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply can help you build tomorrow.
Bugs Island is your boating headquarters. Are you ready to hit the water and go boating this summer? Bugs Island has all kinds of boats with one sure to fit exactly what you want. Fishing boats, sport boats, pontoon boats, and all with low monthly payments. Call 1-800-I'm-READY. Bugs Island Service Department experts are also here for you to keep your boat in top running condition. Call 1-800-I'm-READY. Don't be left standing on the bank this summer. Visit online at bugsisland.com and don't buy a boat till you get a Bucks quote.
Lake Area Realty specializes in Lake Martin real estate. They can help simplify your next real estate purchase or sell and have helped many home buyers and sellers through the area buy and sell real estate with precision. Lake Area Realty utilizes powerful marketing tools and knowledge of the lake to help you with your next move. Call your local hometown agency today. Lake Area Realty at 256-825-4800. That's 256-825-4800. Lake Area Realty, helping you find your way home.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and JJ here with you. Just a couple more segments left in today's show. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us. 256-234-6221. Give us a call. Let us know what's on your mind. The Atlanta Braves, 90-47, best record in baseball right now.
I did look up the magic number.
Okay.
With a 14.5 game lead and 90 wins on the season.
Yep.
The Atlanta Braves magic number is 12.
12 wins by the Braves or losses by Philadelphia.
Yes.
So I don't know what the Philadelphia did last night, but the Braves lost. So that did not help.
With 25 games left, the magic number is 12.
Okay.
There's a chance it could be clinched in the next 5 to 7 days.
Yeah. Think about this, and the Braves right now have 7 players in their lineup with 20 or more home runs. If Orlando AHSAA, by some chance, hits 3 more home runs, 8 players throughout a 10-man lineup in the, concluding the DH, will have 20 home runs.
Olsen now is at 45, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So he's knocking on the door of 50. Good chance to get there. Ronald Acuna has already accomplished something this season that's never been done in Major League Baseball.
Ozzy's at 29.
The Braves have 25 to play, still have a 6-game lead over the Dodgers, or actually a 7-game lead for home field throughout the playoffs because they have the head-to-head tiebreaker.
Right.
So it's actually 7 games. It's been one of the greatest. We'll see how it all finishes up. Right, there'll be comparisons. Certainly one of the top 2 or 3 all-time regular seasons in Braves history.
And I can confirm, this has been one of those things we bring up from time to time. No longer does the All-Star game determine home field advantage in the World Series. That is not the way they do it anymore. It is the best record. Whoever's had the best record. They quit doing that several years ago. I thought they did. But,
thank goodness.
Yeah. But, okay, so the Braves, 90 wins. You said they got how many? 30?
But 125 or 25 left,
25 games left. How could, what final record are we talking? 100 wins? We talking 105 wins?
I think 105 is certainly doable.
105 is about, I think that would be about right. That would be probably the most that I ever remember the Braves winning. I know they won 103 in 93, or 104 maybe. But so that would probably be the best that I can ever remember them going.
The question is, once you clinch, and they might clinch with 15 games to go, do they just sort of chill a little?
I'm of the opinion just play until maybe the last, if you want to cruise the last 3 or 4 games. But I know the idea you don't want to get anybody hurt, but I think
if you're going to sit out that first week, though, a.k.a. last year, you might not want to do that.
Yeah,
You know, I mean, you might want to go in playing hard and just, you know, wish we could play again tomorrow. You know,
I agree.
So-
I mean, that is a good point because last year they ran into a hot team in the Phillies and just seemed like they were flat.
Yeah.
So Braves going to win the East. Dodgers going to win the West. Milwaukee, the Brewers, the Cubs, and the Reds still fighting it out there in the Central. The Brewers right now with the lead in that, but you know, whoever doesn't win that, the Cubs and the Reds they're leading in the wild card behind the Phillies. So that looks to be your kind of National League lineup in the wild card. The American League is a lot more complicated. Baltimore and Tampa Bay still fighting in the East. Minnesota, the Guardians still got a chance, but they probably, it looks like the Twins going to win the Central. The West, though, the Astros, the Mariners, and the Rangers are all within like a game and a half. So whoever wins that division, the other two are more likely going to make the playoffs. And
there
then
will
you
be
got
playoffs, and there will be no Yankees,
There will
and
be
there will be no
Yankees.
Red Sox.
No, how about that?
I'm all for it. 100%.
No Yankee love, huh? Or Red Sox either.
Yeah, either one.
Okay. I can live with the Red Sox. Yankees, no. I'm sick of them. Have been for years. Have been since 1996, actually. But Mike Soroka called up to pitch last night. It didn't really go that well. Now he's got numbness in his fingers, going back on the IL. Not good for him. Doesn't. But outside of him, the rest of the pitching staff has been really, really good here in the last probably 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks.
Sure. Yeah, and you know, it's like we talked about last offseason. After the injuries that Mike Soroka's had, if you ever get anything out of him again, it's you know, it's bonus.
That's true.
You know, so I don't know that Mike Soroka is necessarily a major league pitcher anymore. You know, just with his injury history and the things he's had, he's lost 3 years to this.
Yeah. Think about that. I mean, this goes back to 2020. That's when that first Achilles happened.
Yeah.
That's yeah, but I mean, he's been well paid. Maybe he's kept his money, and
well, let's hope.
Yeah, and he's going to be okay. Braves 18-6 in their last 24 games. If that kind of record, you know, for the next 25.
Yeah.
How about winning 15 of those, and then, or how about winning, 20, 20-5 down the stretch?
I don't know that that's going to mean as much to the team as it would to like us fans.
Probably not.
But I promise you, if they start getting close to the all-time Braves record for wins, that will mean something to the team.
Definitely, for sure. Cardinals again today and tomorrow. Pirates at home, at the Phillies for 4. At the Marlins, back home against the Phillies. Closing things out at the Nationals. The Cubs for 3 in Atlanta. And closing things out the season, the Nationals for 3. So 2 of the last 3 series against the Nationals. You talk about City, I mean, they could probably win those and sit the starters as well. So. We got to take our final break here, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back with the final segment of the Auburn Blitz right after this.
J.A. Smith Construction is your trusted choice for construction site clearing and grading for new home construction, underground utilities and site work, concrete paving, storm drain installation, fish ponds, and slough dredging. No job is too big or too small. Call Alexander at J.A. Smith Construction at 256-896-1400 or email asmith@jasmithconstruct.com. J.A. Smith Construction, your trusted choice for construction.
Sign Source is your local vendor for commercial and residential sign manufacturing and installation. We offer all kinds of lighted and non-lighted signage, from retail signs, LED message centers, event banners, vehicle wraps, the whole spectrum. We also offer service and repair on existing signs, as well as retrofitting to LED or installation of outsourced signage. We have the knowledge necessary to fulfill all of your signage needs in the short or long term. Visit signsourcenow.com to get started.
EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare, serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama.
LMG Ad Agency is the go-to vendor for all your digital and print marketing needs. We have in-house production for all projects, including graphic design, web design, social media marketing, videography, and print marketing. Our video production is up to industry standard with modern 4K cameras and drone capabilities. We pride ourselves in client-committed relationships, and every project is personalized to your needs. Visit lmgadagency.com for a free quote today. Let us tell your story.
Folks around these parts have known for a long time that Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is your #1 stop for automotive service and repair. At Walls Tire, you'll always find quality service at a fair price on everything from AC, name brand tires, big or small repairs, routine maintenance, towing, and more. When your car or truck needs to run right, there's one place in the area to go, conveniently located and easy to find. Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280.
Passion, the obsession that burns within. Determination, the burning desire to make it. Drive, the motivation to be the absolute best. Skills, the tools to perform at the highest level. Excellence, the feeling of achievement. At Central Alabama Community College, you can release your passion, show your determination, display your drive, and showcase your skills to achieve excellence. Central Alabama Community College, central to you, central to your success.
For more than 40 years, Ingram Equipment Company has helped companies, towns, and cities with their dirtiest, most challenging jobs by providing the very best equipment and by helping them keep in tip-top working condition. IEC represents leading manufacturers such as Heil garbage truck bodies, Timco sweepers, Step pothole patchers, and many more. We proudly support all athletes and teams that compete across the state and wish them good luck this year. Ingram Equipment Company, ingramequipment.net.
The interstate is backed up this morning due to an accident.
So you don't like sitting still on the interstate? Get the free Algo traffic app. With Algo, you'll have the information you need to avoid problems on your route, to work, to home, to the beach. Traffic backups, wrecks, lane closures, all with current info and live traffic camera feeds. Know before you go with Algo Traffic, ALGO Traffic from the Alabama Department of Transportation. Get it today and arrive on time.
Welcome back, everyone, to the final segment of the Auburn Blitz on this Wednesday afternoon. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us today. On this day, August the 6th, no, September the 6th. I'm a month behind. September the 6th, 1995. I bet you remember where you were. Cal Ripken breaks Lou Gehrig's all-time consecutive games played streak with 2,131 games.
Remember it happening, but I don't remember where it was.
I was at my house watching the game. Remember him, running around the field.
I remember, yeah.
Just basically putting the game on pause for 30 minutes.
Yep.
But that was great. That was one of those. I mean, we were alive to see that, and that's one of those streaks in baseball that I just don't think will ever be broken.
Well, you like to say that, but everything's made to be broken.
You think 56 game hit streaks ever going to be broken?
I think it's
Really?
I think we've seen people tease it. We've seen Pete
Rose tease it. I mean, but nobody really. I mean, people have gotten somewhat close.
In this era of the launch angle stuff, probably not. but everything's cyclical in baseball. So
Yeah, I mean, if they play for another 150 years, it's bound to
Yeah,
probably happen,
yeah.
but we'll see. 1995, Cal Ripken. Happy birthday today, Vince DiMaggio.
Who is that?
The elder brother of Dom and Joe.
Okay.
Didn't even know
the
there
song
was.
doesn't sound the same. Where have you gone, Vince DiMaggio?
It does not.
Yeah.
He played for about 10 years. He was kind of a mediocre player.
Okay.
But, yeah, younger brothers came along. But three brothers played in Major League Baseball. I wonder if that's sure. Well, I know the three Molinas call it, right?
Yeah.
There's probably been, I wonder if there's been any more three sibling. The great David Allen Coe.
And you just called him by his name.
Born on this day, 1939, still getting it done. Saw him at the Student Act at Auburn in 1996 when I was a student. Probably enjoyed it a little too much. Mel McDaniel.
Louisiana
Baby's-
Saturday night.
Baby's got her blue jeans on
That's
as well.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No longer with us, Mel McDaniel. Born on this day, 1942. Roger Waters.
Never had a problem with Pink Floyd, but it wasn't necessarily my thing either.
Really?
Yeah.
Just another brick in the wall.
Yeah, I mean it's fine, it's good. It's I'm not going to
It's
pull
unique.
up.
It's unique.
I'm not going to pull up Spotify and go, hey, play me some Pink Floyd.
You're
you
not?
know, not my bag.
Yeah, I like Pink Floyd, sure. Jane Curtin.
Funny lady.
Funny lady, Saturday Night Live. One of the greatest skits ever. Saturday Night Live. Her and
Jane.
Dad. You ignorant yeah, I mean, just great. I mean, that is for the 1970s. That was hilarious. Couldn't probably get away with that today.
No.
Jeff Foxworthy, funny guy.
Another funny guy. Yeah.
Definitely. You might be a redneck.
If your dad walks you to school because you're in the same grade,
you might be a redneck. My favorite story was the one something about, he was riding home with his dad. They'd gone fishing or something, and he'd had one too many maybe and got pulled over, and cop came up and he said, "Is there some kind of law against me taking my boat out?" He said, "No, sir, but we do require you put it on a trailer."
You dropped your skier a mile back. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. That's about the best part of that story, too, to me, was one of the funniest parts, is when the trooper walks up to the truck and he says, "Yes, sir, may I see your license and registration?" Says, "Yes, sir, Mr. Fox, whether you know why I pulled you over?" "No, sir, I don't need a cold beer. Don't think you do either."
That's right, yeah. Michael Winslow.
No, the sound
Police
effect guy.
Academy.
Yeah.
We got a phone call. Can we get one in right
Do we
quick?
have time? Let's see.
Caller, you're on the Auburn Blitz.
Okay. They were talking about the brothers a while ago in baseball, and I don't know if they said the Alou brothers or not. I just want to remind them of that.
Oh, okay, the Alou,
yeah.
Even father as well, Felipe.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a good call.
I didn't know if y'all didn't mention that or not. I just happened to think about it.
That's
There
a
you
good
go,
one.
David.
Thank you, David.
Thank you,
Appreciate
David.
it. Let's see. Kevin Willis, you remember him? Played for the Hawks.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Great power forward.
He, one of only 15 people in NBA history, I think, with 16,000 points and like 11,000 rebounds. He's better than you would remember. Mark Chestnut.
Was he going through the Big D and don't mean Dallas?
That is correct. 1963. Rosie Perez.
White Men Can't Jump.
White Men Can't Jump.
She was fantastic in that movie.
Do the Right Thing as well. How about Dolores O'Riordan?
All right, you got me on this one. As a wrestler or something? Okay.
Not a wrestler, lead
Okay.
singer of the Cranberries.
Oh, okay.
Tragically
Okay.
died several years ago, 2018. Kind of almost like a John Bonham situation. I think got drunk and drowned in the tub.
Okay.
So not a good ending. But I always liked the Cranberries.
Sure.
Linger. Eric Zier.
Yes.
Good quarterback. Georgia.
Yeah.
Went on to, I think he's the color guy.
Was a
at
was a
Georgia.
Heisman finalist, 1994.
Sounds right.
Actually, he and Jay Barker both were Heisman finalists.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. 1972. Idris Elba.
No idea.
Black guy, British, good actor. He was in some of the Avenger movies. the Thor movies.
So you lost me on the comic book stuff. Yeah.
He was, let's say, I don't know if something you would know, but anyway, good actor, cool guy. And Derek Lee.
The pitcher?
First baseman.
First baseman, okay.
Yeah, played for Braves for a minute in 2010.
Yeah.
But, yeah, there was a pitcher.
There was a pitcher named Derek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't he also play for the Braves for a while?
I don't know.
No.
I'm sure there's a caller that knows, but we're through with the show.
Yeah. Well, the guy, who's the guy I'll think of it. He played for the Red Sox and then pitched for the Braves for a little while. Anyway, that'll wrap it up for us. Thank you so much for being with us. Thank you for the phone calls. He's JJ. I'm Andy. So long for now, everybody. We'll talk again soon.